Okay kids, well in this video I am going to teach you how to solve simple equations. Remember that equations are equalities in which one of the numbers or more of the numbers are unknown and were represented with letters. In this case the letter X, but in some other examples you can use any other letter that you want. The thing is that just X is the most common. So remember, you have to maintain the balance in order to maintain the equation. Therefore, if you do something in one side, you have to do exactly the same in the other side. And the idea is to leave the letter alone, okay? So you want to get rid of this negative 3. So this negative 3, well, this is an operation of minus 3. We have to do the opposite. What is the opposite of subtracting 3? Well, it is adding 3. So what we are going to do is add 3. Okay, but since we added 3 in this side, we also have to do it in this other side. Okay, so look what happens. Negative 3 plus 3 becomes 0. This is x plus 0. Yeah, x and 0, well, it's just x. And 8 plus 3 is 11. So x is 11. You see? That's simple. Now let's do it with this one. We have a plus 4, so we have to subtract 4 in order to get rid of that. X plus 4 minus 4, okay? But since we subtracted 4 here, we also have to do it in the other side. So look what happens here. Plus 4 minus 4 is 0. Okay, x plus 0 is just x. Yes, these two cancel each other and you just get the x alone, okay? And 7 minus 4 is 3. So x, sorry, this equal sign is not in the right place. X is 3 in this case. And if you confirm it, look. If you replace this x by the 3, which is it's supposed to be 3 plus 4 is 7, so the equation is true. Now let's see what happens when you have a division, okay? When you have a fraction, which is also a division, what you do is the opposite of division, and the opposite of division is multiplication. So you have x divided by 8, but you also multiply by 8. And since you multiplied by 8 here, you also have to do it here. 3 times 8. So what happens? 8 divided by 8, they cancel each other because they become 1. 8 divided by 8 is 1. You see? And x times 1 is just x. So in this case, dx is alone. Okay? And 3 times 8 is 24. So x in this case is 24. And if we see, we replace dx with 24 in the original equation. In the original equation, in the original equation here, 24 divided by 8 is 3. The equation is true. You see? Now let's see what happens when you have a multiplication. Okay? In this case, you got to get used to see numbers and letters together like this. If between them there's nothing, you have to assume that this is a multiplication, okay? And the opposite of multiplication is a division. So in order to get rid of these two, you have to divide by 2. So look, 2 times x divided by 2, and since we divided by 2 here, in the other side we also have to do the same. Okay, what is 2 divided by 2? 1. And it's a similar situation than the previous one. This 1 times x is just x, you see? And what is 90 divided by 2? It's 45. Therefore, x is 45. And once again, if you replace this result, look, if you replace this result for the x that we had originally, 2 times 45 is 90. The equation is true. Okay, now let's see what happens when you have a little different situations. When you have it like this, when you have a negative number starting and then you have the variable. Okay, what happens here? Yes, this is an addition, but we have to get rid of this negative 2. And what is the opposite of negative 2? Well, the opposite of negative 2 is positive 2, so we have to add 2. So it's negative 2 plus 2 plus z. Okay, this positive 2 comes here inside. Sorry. So what is positive 2 minus 2? Sorry, negative 2 plus 2? It's 0, and 0 plus 7 is just 7. Okay, now, sorry, this is 7. It's z. Okay, it's z. So we left the z alone. But remember, since we added 2 here, we have to also do it in the other side. And 9 plus 2 is 11. Well, z is 11. Okay, and the same that in all of the cases. If we replace this z, this 11 for the z that we originally had, negative 2 plus 11 is 9. The equation is true. Okay, and finally, here, look, negative 4 minus w. Okay, so we have to get rid first of this negative 4. So the opposite of negative 4 is positive 4. So we have to do negative 4 plus 4 and then minus w, because, well, this has to come down also. 20, no? But since here we added 4, we also have to do it here. Okay? Now, 20 plus 4 is 24. Easy. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. And 0 minus w, you see, it's a negative w. It works like just any other number. Imagine 0 minus 3, it's negative 3. 0 minus 7, it's negative 7. 0 minus w is negative w. So negative w is 24. What is w? Well, the opposite of the opposite of 24. Negative 24. When you have the variable and the negative with the result in the other side, well, you just switch the signs of both sides. This becomes positive and this becomes negative. You change to the opposite in both of the sides. So w is negative 24. And if we replace this negative 24 to the w, okay, it's going to be, I am going to do it in this side so you don't get lost. Okay, negative 4 minus, and the w alone is negative 24 equals 20. Okay, why did I put it here? Because the w without the negative is negative 24. I just replaced it. Okay, so what happens when you have these two? Negative 24, negative 4 minus 24 is simply 20. Okay, if you do this operation, it's going to be 20. So yes, this is true.